All right, John Oaks here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location. And today we've got our newest addition to our inventory, this being a 1966 Ford Fairlane 500. Now this car is really nice here. You'll get to see the outside of it here when we get to the top. But for right now, we're going to start underneath here and show you exactly what we have underneath the car here. So starting at the back, as we always do here, we've got just a stock fuel tank. You can see it's got, you know, the factory undercoating on it back here to protect all of that metal. As far as the exhaust, we've got dual exhaust coming all the way back from the long tube headers, dual pipes, dual Flowmaster mufflers in this car also, so it's going to have a real nice, you know, deep throaty sound to it whenever you hear it run. Now as far as the rear running gear on this car, we'll just kind of walk you right across from side to side here. As far as wheels and tires, we have for tires all four corners we have BF Goodrich. These are the G-Force Sport Comp 2 radial tires. These are mounted on 17-inch US mags aluminum wheels. Now these ones, they have kind of the magnesium looking centers in them, but they're a real nice wheel. You'll see those whenever we get to those. As far as the rear tire size on the car, we have 235, 45 ZR17s on the back. Now it is a little different up front, but it's all the same tread pattern. As far as rear suspension, we've got the multi-leaf rear suspension back here, and we've got all new shocks both on the front and the rear of this car. So again, your ride quality is going to be real good with having all new gear. As far as braking components back here, these are Wilwood disc brakes on the rear as well as up front too. So you got four-wheel Wilwood disc brakes. Now they are manual though, not power. But again, Wilwood, they make real good components, and you're not going to have a problem stopping in this vehicle. This is a Ford 9-inch rear end, and it is a posi unit in here, so it's going to go ahead and deliver the power to the ground whenever you need it. Now, as far as the trunk floors that I can see from underneath here, everything looks real good and solid up here. Just a regular stock, you know, floor pans for that trunk pan. Everything looks, like I said, looks really good on this vehicle. As far as the rear frame rail sections here go, the dog legs up over the rear end housing here and so forth, everything looks good and solid, good and straight on this car too. All right, now we're standing underneath the center of our 66 Ford Fairlane 500, and now we can take a look at things like the floors, the exhaust, little different angle of the rear end and suspension components here. So again, the floors, now the floors have been patched, but they've been sectioned in full pieces. They're good and solid now, no holes whatsoever. The emergency brake cables, those are all hooked up and run all the way back to the rear of the car. The exhaust system done very nice on this car. As I said, dual exhaust all the way from those. These look to be, if I'm not mistaken, like a jet coated long tube header. And jet coating is just, it's kind of like a ceramic coating, but it's a real high heat application. So yeah, those look to be in good shape. It could be stainless steel though too. So if it is, I mean, that's even better yet. So dual exhaust there, like I said, all the way back to the dual Flowmaster mufflers, and this stuff looks all new, by the way, and you can tell that. You can see from, you know, the condition of everything here, and it's even got the crossover tube right here for your exhaust. So again, exhaust is all plumbed up exactly the way it should be. As far as transmission goes, now this car does have a 4-speed top loader transmission in it. That was a Ford transmission. The cross member here is in excellent shape. The actual tail shaft mount here for it too, that looks to be new and in good condition as well. There's no drips or leaks or anything here to talk about. Everything looks to be sealed up real nice and tight. As far as your flywheel for your, you know, the clutch, the flywheel, the pressure plate, it does have the cover up here so that it, you know, protects all of that, so no dirt or debris gets in there and causes any damage to any of those components. Like I said, as far as the frame sections go in the car, we've already talked about that. Those are in excellent shape. The multi-leaf rear suspension, again, that Ford 9-inch rear housing. And again, looking at that third member assembly the whole way around it, everything is dry as can be. There's no leaks or anything, so it's sealed up real good and tight back here. And you can see they've actually painted the drive shaft too, that nice silver color, so that it kind of, you know, shows off underneath here a little bit, along with that exhaust system. So as we move to the front, we're going to go ahead and talk about more of the suspension and steering components here. But again, we can see some of that from this angle here. So all of your steering components are kind of run behind that front cross member here. Everything looks good and straight. Tie rods look to be in good shape. All the little rubber dust boots the whole way around on the tie rods look to be good. Pitman arms are all in good shape. You can tell everything's been greased and maintained regularly on this car too. Front sway bar, it's got the strut rod front suspension on it, as most Fords do. So yeah, that's just kind of a brief overview. So we'll go ahead and move up to the front of the car, and that way we can finish talking about all of that and get this car down off the rack for you. And finally, now we're here at the front of our car underneath the 66 Ford Fairlane 500. So now we'll finish up, you know, our underside video here. As far as our frame sections here on the car, those are good, square and straight. They're in excellent condition, so they haven't been bumped or banged or anything like that. In good shape. Like I said, as far as front suspension components, this is all just stock suspension for the Ford Fairlane here. We've got the front sway bar here. Again, all of your bushings here, the frame mount bushings, all of your sway bar end links and all the bushings on that stuff, those are in good shape too in this car. Again, that front strut rod suspension, everything looks to be in good shape there too, as far as the bushings go on that, where they mount to the frame. And again, just like we do with the back of the car, I'll just kind of work my way across the side here as far as what we have for our running and driving gear up front here. As I said, we've got the BF Goodrich radial, or the G-Force Sport Comp 2 radial tires here. And these, as I said, they are a little different size than what's on the back. The front ones are a 225 45 ZR17, again mounted on those 17-inch US Mags aluminum wheels. Everything's in, you know, looks to be in excellent shape there. The tires are all brand new. As I said, on the back, all the shocks and everything, those are all new too. Front disc brakes, I already mentioned it's got the 4-wheel disc brakes on it, all Willwood name brand components. So again, stopping's not going to be an issue with this car. They make really good components. As the lower control arms, the upper arms too, those are just your stock stamped steel components, all factory stuff there. So all of that's in good shape as well. Like I said, all the ball joints, all the little rubber dust boot covers, those are all intact. You can tell it's been maintained, ball joints as well. So everything looks to be nice underneath here too. As far as the motor goes, we'll take a little better look at that once we go up top, but I do want to mention that this is a 289 cubic inch hypo block. So it's a good power plant here for this particular car, backed up by that 4-speed top loader transmission and then that 9-inch Ford rear end. Now it does operate off a mechanical fuel pump. And other things that I can see just from standing underneath here, it does have an aluminum radiator in here. Then it's got a looks like a 7-blade steel fan on it as well. So that's really about it all to go over from underneath here. At this time, we'll just go ahead and get her down off the lift for you, and then we'll go around the outside of it, the inside, and underneath the hood for you as well. Alright, now we've got our 66 Ford Fairlane 500 down off of the lift now. We can go around the outside of it here for you and show you how nice this car really is. As you can see, nice bright red exterior paint. I can tell you, I've looked down the sides, both sides here now, and this thing's nice and laser straight down both sides. So the metal, the fitment, everything like that, that's all really nice on this vehicle here. All steel car, all the metal's good and solid. You've got the bright wheellet moldings on this car, all four wheels obviously. You've got 17-inch, the US mag aluminum wheels. On the front for tires, you've got those 225/45 ZR17s. On the back is a 235/45 ZR17. Again, just to give it a little bit of reek there as far as that goes. It's the BF Goodrich, the Sport Comp 2 radial tires there. Again, all matching tread. So again, they're keeping everything real nice and even around the car there. Now this does have a 289 in it, and therefore it's got the 289 Crossflags emblems down here on the lower section of the front fenders. It's got that bright lower body molding on it too. Again, nice and straight. There's no variations in that whatsoever. So again, real nice fitment there. The windshield on these cars, the trim around it, very nicely detailed out here. Again, you got that bright trim or bright molding that goes around the windshield. Gives this car a real nice look, nice swoopy roof on it. Again, it looks really good on this particular car. You got the vent windows here, all that chrome trim around those. That's in really good condition too. There's no pitting or anything like that on that chrome. You've got the chrome mirror here on the driver's side as well. Like I said, as far as panel fitment goes, you can see the door gaps up front. You can see the door gap here in the back side of the door. Again, very uniform, and elevations are dead on this car. If we open up the door just real briefly here for you to look at, you'll see all red interior. Again, kind of a classy look to this car, and you'll see this more once we go inside. But again, it's all vinyl. It's got the bench seat up front, red carpeting, red headliner, red door panels. Everything's red. Little bit of wood grain trim in the door panels here. But again, just kind of a nice classy look on this car, but kind of a hot roddy look too, with the way that they've done the wheels and tires on it as well. Door shuts real nice and easy. It's got that bright drip rail molding here too, in good shape. No dents or dings in that. Again, those wheellet moldings, the 17-inch US mags on the back here also, with those 235/45 ZR17s. You've got the Fairlane 500 emblems back here on the quarter panels, and again, nice and straight the whole way down the side of the car as you look down. Now that we're here around the back side of our 66 Ford Fairlane 500, we can just take a look at, again, panel fitment here. Look at the trunk, big trunk lid here. Again, the gaps the whole way around that trunk, very uniform. Elevations are pretty good on it too, so trunk's been adjusted very well. You can also look at the rear glass. It's tinted, and again, the bright molding or bright trim work around that is in excellent shape, polished up nice and good and straight the whole way around. You can see it's got the Ford letters here across the trunk. You also have the Fairlane 500 emblems back here too. Nice chrome rear bumper, polished up really well. And again, your taillight bezels, those are really in good shape too. So you got the gaskets the whole way around those. Those look to be in really good shape. The bezel themselves, and then of course the lenses. So you've got both your parking or your taillight lens, and then your backup lens cover here also. Those again are in excellent shape on both sides. There's no cracks, no chips or anything like that in those plastic lens covers. Tailpipes out the rear end of the car here, they are kind of like the slash cut chrome tailpipe extensions. So again, a nice little feature there, and again, it looks good the way that they have it cut off right at the edge of the bumper and angled down there. We'll go ahead and open up the trunk, and we'll take a look inside now. So obviously you can see the inside of the trunk. The lid itself has been painted the same as the exterior of the car, that nice bright red exterior. You also have your trunk seals here the whole way around the trunk. That looks to be pretty new. There's no chips or tears or chunks taken out of it. It's all attached real nice the whole way around and all intact, one piece. Looks really nice. So again, should seal up really well from the elements there. As far as the inside of the trunk goes, you have this nice little trunk mat back here, made right for the car. Again, it's in excellent shape. You've got a full-size spare back here on a steel wheel. You have all the mounting accessories back there, and you have the original bumper style jack there, along with your lug wrench back there too. So again, if you're around the road, if you would happen to need it, and you're out and about, you've got it back here. But again, people typically don't use those anymore. They're just more so for the looks. As far as the actual trunk floor itself, if we lift up our trunk mat here and just take a quick look, you can see it's all good and solid metal here. It's been undercoated, so again, inside the trunk as well as under. So again, that's going to protect it from the elements. But again, it's done very nicely. They've gone ahead and put these little fiber pieces in here too, to go all the way out to the edge of the quarter panels there and give it a nice finished off look. We'll put that back, and then we'll be able to go ahead and close our trunk lid. That'll go ahead and wrap everything up for us back here. And now here we are on the passenger side of the vehicle. So again, everything's all the same as what was over on the other side there. We've got the Fairlane 500 emblems on the quarter panel. Again, nice and straight the whole way down the side of the car. So again, your panel fitment all very nicely done on this car. Got the bright wheel lip moldings here, those 17-inch US mag aluminum wheels, the 235, 45, 17 tires on the back. You've got the bright drip rail moldings here too. Again, in excellent shape the whole way around here. And again, that nice shapely roof there. Again, I like the lines on this car. It's a real nice car. We get to the windshield here, and again, that bright molding that's the whole way around that windshield is in excellent shape, nicely polished up. Your wing windows or your vent windows, the finish on that trim there is in good shape as well. Again, all of the glass in this car is tinted. You can look at your door gaps here on this side also, front versus the rear, very uniform. We'll open that up too, just like we did on the other side. Take a quick look. You can see that bright red paint there continued on the interior of the car, in your door jambs and everything. Threshold plates are in nice shape. And again, that bench seat in there, again, all red interior. I think it's a pretty classy look for this particular car. We'll go ahead and close that. Again, that door shuts nice. Your elevations are dead on this car too. There's no deviations from fender to quarter panel to door at all. So again, everything fits really, really nice on this car. Again, on the back side of our front fender, we got that 289 cross flags emblem. You've got the bright lower body moldings too. And then on the front here on these 17-inch wheels, you've got those 225 45 ZR 17-inch tires up here. Again, all BF Goodrich Sport Cop 2 radial tires there. So that brings us to the front. Again, just kind of working around the car quickly here. There's not a whole lot to go over on the outside of the car. We've done most of our stuff from underneath the car. Again, the drive line and the brake components and so forth like that. So we'll go ahead and bring you up to the front now. And finally now we made it all the way around now to the front of our 66 Ford Fairlane 500. Again, this car is all steel, so the hood, it's your stock steel hood up front here. You've got the Ford letters across the front edge of that hood, and those are in excellent shape. All of your bright work along the edge of the hood here in excellent shape. Your headlight bezels, those are in nice shape too. Nice and straight. There's no dents or dings in those. Polished up pretty well. All of your rubber gaskets that fit in between those bezels and the actual steel of the front fenders, those are all intact and in good shape too. The grille work on this car is very nice as well. Polished up about as good as could be. And this car here, again, I kind of like the lines and everything on this car with the stacked headlights. Now these are just your traditional seal beam headlights, so you do have the glass lenses. So again, both top and bottom, high and low beam seal beam lights are in excellent shape. There's no chips or cracks in those glass lenses whatsoever. Nicely chromed and polished up front bumper there too. And that pretty much concludes everything on the front. Let's go ahead and open up our hood. Take a look at what we've got here, and that would be a 289 small block Ford engine. Now, when running the numbers on this, we come up, this is the hypo block. So again, they've done some things here to upgrade things underneath the hood. So we've got a chrome air cleaner here. You've got a 600 CFM Holley single feed carburetor in here. So again, that's plenty carburetor for the 289 motor. You've got these old style looking Edelbrock finned aluminum valve covers there to kind of give it that older look underneath here. Willwood master cylinder to go along with the Willwood disc brakes. So again, that's all the braking components are going to be excellent on this car. Willwood makes very good components. They've upgraded the ignition system in here as well. So we've got all MSD components. So an MSD Pro Billet distributor, MSD 6AL ignition box, along with your MSD Blaster SS coil to go along with everything and get it firing a nice hot spark. And they finished it off with some MSD plug wires to help deliver that spark to the plugs. You also have an Edelbrock 289. This is a cast aluminum intake here. So again, lightens it up and helps deliver that fuel to the rest of the motor. And then those headers, again, when we were underneath there, I wasn't quite sure. They're either, they could be stainless or they could be like a jet coated header. In either case, they're going to last forever on this car. You've got, again, manual steering on this car, manual brakes, but it is Willwood disc brakes. Other than that, got an aluminum radiator there to help cool everything. I believe it is a 7-blade steel fan on here too to help cool everything down. And that's really it. You got all your heater lines are hooked up too, so there's nothing that's missing underneath here. Everything's all intact and very nicely done up underneath the hood here too. And you can see also the underside of the hood's painted red as well. So with that, we're all done here. We'll go ahead and close this all up. We'll go inside the car now, take a look at that interior. All right, now we're sitting inside our 66 Fairlane 500. So we can take a look at our interior now. Again, all red interior here. You do see on the door panels just a touch of that wood grain trim there on those door panels. Now we'll start, from the top, kind of work our way down here. This is the factory, the original dash pad here. Now for the most part it's in good condition. However, it does have a couple of cracks right up here, right in the center. Again, not unusual for these cars, again, when the sun beats down on them. And with age, they'll tend to have a tendency to dry up, maybe get a couple little splits in them. So this one does, but again, just to the rest of this is all in really good shape. As far as your headliner goes, all red headliner, looks really good. It's nice and tight. I can tell you it's got all the bows in place where it should. It looks really good. There's no rips or tears in the headliner at all. It looks really good here. Got your sun visors here too, both sides. Those are in excellent shape too. There's no tears or anything in any of the upholstery on those. So again, those are in real nice condition. And we'll put those back up for you. There we go. And then as far as the dash, the rest of the dash goes, all factory instrumentation, so that would include your factory fuel gauge, your 120-mile-an-hour speedometer. Now that's pretty much your gauges here. It's in your dash. Now they did upgrade the radios slightly. They've gone to an AM/FM cassette player in here. You've got the factory steering wheel. Off of the steering column, though, they did mount a SunPro tachometer, so you do have that to kind of look at now. Again, a lot of people like to put those in with a 4-speed especially, just so you know how high you're revving it if you're going to be, doing any kind of racy type driving and shifting gears, at your top maximum, where you want to be there. So you've got a Hurst shifter here on the floor with a Hurst shift ball. That's a correct 4-speed shift ball. And again, that was that 4-speed top loader transmission in this car as well. Factory heater controls and your selectors, they're all right here, right on the dash. Again, your light switches and so forth, those are all factory too. Now they have gone ahead and they did add in a couple of gauges here, aftermarket gauges. These are matching Sun Pro gauges to your tack, and those are the water temperature, the voltmeter, and the oil pressure gauge. Again, extra gauges just because this car didn't originally have those up here in your factory dash instrumentation, so they wanted to go ahead and put in something that they could monitor those. So again, those are in there, mounted up nice. You don't really see any wires or lines there. You know, nothing's too obvious there. So just a nice set of white face gauges. Again, we've mentioned it's got the bench seat up front. The upholstery on this, the vinyl upholstery, the cover, it's in excellent shape. There's no tears, there's no cracks in it whatsoever. All the seat belts are intact on this as well. As far as carpeting goes, I'd say probably original carpeting in this too. Again, the condition's not horrible on it though. You know, it still retains its nice bright red color. You know, so again, it's, you know, all the panels I would say are original to this car too. But they're in very good condition. Like I said, the worst part of it would be the factory dash panel or pad that has a couple cracks in it. But other than that, this is really, really nice. Like I said, seat belts all intact, all of them front and rear. So yeah, just a really nice car. You've got a couple of the Fairlane 500 emblems in here too to help set it off in here. So yeah, nice overall car. So again, if you have any questions about this car or any other car that we have in our inventory, definitely shoot us an email or give us a phone call. We always make our contact information available to you throughout all the pictures and videos, as well as on our website. And you can check us out on our website at www.hanksters.com.